Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins brings out the Minnesota Vikings here, Charles. Gives us a chance to talk about Kirk, who had such a great October. And then
They called it, don't you?
Kirktober?
Kirktober.
Well, Kirk Timber, that doesn't have as good of a ring. But November, look, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions in the loss to Kansas City Week 9, but just 19 of 38. So that completion percentage at 50%, not near the 72% that he came in at.
And 78% during the month of October when he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. He was just off a little bit. Had opportunities, wasn't quite as accurate as he's been throughout the year, but they also didn't run the ball with the same proficiency that they've run it with Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen, who had come back off of a hamstring injury, re-injured the hamstring in the first quarter, unavailable the rest of the game. That helped bog down their offense, too.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Now Cousins, he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Pretty good start there on plays 1 and 2.
And not discriminating at all, is he? Make sure he's spreading it around on the first 2 throws of the game. 2 different parts of the field as well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw, Cousins. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play fake, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. The Vikings first down, Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Again, it's Cousins. Completes it to Davis. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive. And
just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Denver Broncos, led by their quarterback, Brandon Allen. And a tip of the cap to Brandon Allen. Week 9, getting the victory over the Cleveland Browns, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns in his first NFL appearance.
Showed a lot of poise, handled the pass rush of Cleveland. Remember, Myles Garrett, he can wreak havoc on an offense trying to throw the ball. But how about a guy who was a 6th-round pick in 2016 by Jacksonville, hanging in there, battling his way, and finds it at 27 years old, gets a start and a win against a team that many thought might go to the playoffs this year.
Allen now on first down. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart, finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Allen going to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. On play action, Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Second-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Check 45 to Mike. Know your job. Hey, check Mike. Check Mike 45. Hey, let's get this.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Well, let's showcase cornerback Kareem Jackson has brought his talents from Houston to Denver, and the Broncos are really excited about using him all over their secondary. Primarily a corner for most of his career, the last couple of seasons he swung back to safety as well, and has done a nice job in both spots.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All day, just like that, just like that.
Cousins gives way to Cook, and he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter. because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now a run with Cook. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll take it at the 42. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Here comes a Denver Bronco offense again, CD. You know, that win against Cleveland that we discussed earlier in the broadcast put them at 3-6. Probably a little too late for them to even think about making a run, especially when you consider they've already dealt Emmanuel Sanders to San Francisco.
I think you're right about that because, remember, Joe Flacco is likely to be on the IR, their starting quarterback. They've got a lot to get figured out, but the good part is they get an open week, and maybe they can retool a little bit, kind of hit the reset button, but then they've got 4 or 5 on the road, and not too many of them are what you would call easy. At Minnesota, at Buffalo, home against the Chargers who just beat Green Bay, at Houston who leads their division, and at Kansas City. And Patrick Mahomes will definitely be back by then.
I don't even need to look at everybody else's schedule to say that has to be the toughest 5-game stretch coming up.
I would agree with you totally, and I would be calling the schedule makers and saying, how did this happen?
Let's go. 18 Gator. 54. Mike, 54. You must be dreaming. Now.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
60 outlaw.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, it's Allen. He'll find Lindsey here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Vikings offense gets set for their next possession here. You know, I mentioned the Kansas City game. That was one you had, the Kansas City field goal to win it 26-23 in Week 9. That broke the 4-game win streak for the Vikings. What else did you glean from that game for Minnesota now at 6-3?
That they're still a prime contender. I mean, this team is very good. Off a little bit on offense, wasn't their normal production. Defense gave up a big 91-yard touchdown run to Damian Williams. That's not normal for them. Still were in the game despite not playing with, I guess you would call it their A game in this one. Not to take credit away from Kansas City, but this Vikings team, week in, week out, is going to be very difficult for anyone to solve. Look for them to be in it all the way.
They'll try to bounce back upcoming on a road game. They're going to Dallas in Week 10. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Watch the screen.
Cousins. He finds his man Johnson. That one a first down pickup of 8.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. Cook. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
You ain't doing nothing today.
On 2nd down, Cook. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Cousins, and he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there, but it'll be 2nd down. CD, we're already firmly in the month of November, so I want to go ahead and take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Right now, division leaders, New England, Baltimore, Houston, and KC. If it ended today, the wild cards would go to Buffalo and Indianapolis. Do you think those are going to be the 6? Probably some shuffling along the way.
There will be some shuffling along the way, maybe more in seeding than in actual teams, because when you're looking at who's in the wild card hunt right now, Pittsburgh, Oakland, both 4-4. Tennessee and Jacksonville at 4-5. The way teams are playing, they may just knock off each other. I think all the teams we listed have a heck of a chance of making it to the playoffs.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. First down, here's Cousins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Well, with that incompletion, let's tap into the useless facts file, shall we? 3 guys with the last name Allen got the start in Week 9. Josh in Buffalo, Kyle in Carolina, Brandon in Denver. All 3 got the win. And, Charles, that's the first time in league history that 3 QBs sharing the last name won on the same week. Cook stripped. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. The big fella. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. And, Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1, and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Down. 8 read.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Get it.
On first down, Allen. This is the tight end Fant. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Broncos in the hurry-up trying to get to their positions and get set quickly. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Here we go. 50 plant. 54. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. 5.
Throwing is Allen on third. Too long, a coverage sack, down he goes. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. The Broncos send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
A quick throw going to be caught by Hamilton. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll try the draw, Lindsey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that is incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run it again with Cook, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Here's Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Cousins to throw it. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Let's go.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. On the carry, it's Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Again, it's Cook. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 18. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Cousins now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Get off the field. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
On 2nd down and 4, Cousins, and Diggs has it. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Bailey got the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Allen going to throw again. Open man here is Hamilton. 15 yards on the play, first down. Hamilton, the 4th-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 24-year-old Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie.
Let's go now. 60 yards.
Eat. It's a party now. It's a party now. Let's go.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? To the air, Allen. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You got nothing. Get it.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. The Broncos on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. The kick by McManus is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They go play action here on first down. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
To throw again on second down. Cousins, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams, and there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Come get some. Come on.
And the blitz does come. He gets this one to Johnson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now Allen. He's got his big tight end, Fant. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Allen. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So now let's look at the situation. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so barring a first down, they could conceivably get the ball back.
So now it's all about defense and stopping the clock. Don't give up any yardage, right? Use your timeouts. And your offense always practices going downfield without timeouts. You know, those 2-minute drills, most of them are run in practice without the benefit of timeouts. They want to make it as tough a situation as possible. They're in it right now.
Check 45 the mic. All day, all day.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. It's complete to Diggs. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing here, Cousins. It's caught, Smith. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run for it with Cook, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is up to 15 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos now down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line.
Watch your slant, watch your slant, watch your slant.
Shoot.
Allen now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Linval Joseph picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack on first down, Allen, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end. Third down here.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Allen going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.